You have reached the Love You Divine Tarot channel. And you.
In trouble. When I posted it, when I put out my documentaries on it, they tried to sue my ass. They was like, oh, hell nah, he talk about us. No, we're not all mixed. Prove that we are all mixed. Please do. Prove it. My mother and father from this land. Their mothers and fathers are from this land. Their mothers and fathers from this land. Their mothers and fathers from this land. And their mothers and fathers from this land. And their mothers and fathers from... Prove that we all mixed, please. All mixed. Prove it. I'll wait for a little second. Genealogists are telling you, right? Scientists discover ancient Siberian population that is the ancestors of modern Native Americans. You the one that's mixed. You gonna learn today. There's no point in fighting with me about your history. I didn't write it. I didn't create it. I'm not out here downing your history. I'm out here telling you your history. They lied to you. And I also told you about the term native. Anybody could be native. Anybody. As soon as two Africans migrate to America and make a baby in America and have a child in America, birth a baby in America, that baby is not only African, but native to America. That's why you need to stop using that term. And I'm talking to my people. Y'all should not be using the term native because that's everybody included. Same thing with the term black. That's everybody included. That's not one group of people. That's all groups of people. Why you think they changed the term indigenous people to indigenous peoples? They want to add in more people. That's not supposed to be there. You seeing the pattern yet? It's right in front of you. And look, if you mixed, there's nothing wrong with being mixed. But that doesn't mean you know your whole story because it's mixed up. You got bits and pieces of the truth mixed up with a whole lot of lies. Just because you're mixed breed doesn't mean that your entire bloodline is. That's not how it works. Like if I was to turn around and marry a white woman, that doesn't mean my entire bloodline has white blood or whatever you want to call it. That's not a part of the bloodline. That person was just married in. Even if we was to have children, that still doesn't make the bloodline, the entire bloodline, mixed. What about my skin tone? What about it? My father's light skin and so is my mother. Well, my mother's brown skin. My father's light skin. What? I know her mother and father. I know his mother and father. What? And ain't no white in my family. So what you trying to say? If skin tone had something to do with it, in which it doesn't, because actually it's the problem now. You're referring to yourself by way of a skin tone that doesn't even exist. Nobody over here is black in skin tone. So why are we calling ourselves black people? I'm a lighter shade of the color brown. If we're going by way of color, yeah, I'm a lighter shade of the color brown. They could be lighter than me of the shade or the color brown. Then it could be darker. Look, brown, not black, brown, right? Not black, brown. So what's the point? For example, let's just say that I share the same facial features as an African. That doesn't make me an African because there are white people that share the same facial features as us, and that doesn't make them us. We can tell the difference. Yeah, that's what's crazy. When people out there immediately think light skin means mixed. That's not what that means. That's what they told you, but that was never proven. I went back generations of my family And I seen who was being married and or having children. I seen who it was. All we had was high yellows and dark skins and brown skins. That's a country term. When we say high yellow, that just means you a lighter brown. That's it. Now, if I had white in my blood, I would tell you. Or bloodline, I would tell you. But no, Caucasians are not that big of a race to be mixing with everybody.
Oh, happy birthday to you, February the 3rd. Happy birthday. I see that little bird. They have a celebration message for you. That little birdie has a celebration message for you. Happy birthday, February 3rd. Happy birthday, you are that message, little bird. Word. Some of you guys are from New York. I heard word. Welcome home, all of my Revelation 1, 2, 3s. How you guys be? And look at that. And you know what? You are number 3. Isn't that something? How about that? Nothing but happens by circumstance, accident, or coincidence. This happens for a reason. You are that number 3. You guys, please recognize February the 3rd that you are the most important key to this whole divine plan on this beautiful divine planet Earth. The higher realms speaks this knowledge because the higher realms want you to know your worth, okay? Since birth. Okay? Yeah. You guys are the mass key component to this whole divine plan on this beautiful divine planet Earth. The word planet could be no other word than planet. Alright? That is simply because you are planned. The last 2 letters of that word planet is E-T. You are planned until the end of time or until the end of Earth's timeline here. Okay? Yeah. So have no fear. You are supposed to be right here. Yeah. So you guys recognize that there are 2 days you don't have to worry about, yesterday and tomorrow. Why? Because yesterday's history and tomorrow's a mystery. Your beautiful day is today. All right? The higher realms want you to really recognize it that way. Okay? Yes. Okay? A lot of you guys are being promoted. Okay? And some of you guys that are being denoted is actually for a reason. Okay? So you can be promoted in another way. So some of you guys have to be denoted in order to be promoted, is what I'm getting. Okay? Those of you who are denoted now. Okay? Yeah. So again, take what resonates and what does not. Is, keep it far on the shelf somewhere, because you never know. Okay? Where the situation may go. It's always good to keep it on the shelf, because that message may be also for someone else as well. The higher realms want you guys to recognize that life is your soul's mission. It is not a competition, even though you got people out there crossing their fingers and wishing that it was a competition. But guess what? It's not. All right? Life is your soul's mission, okay? It is not a competition. All right? You got that dressed up garbage can man out there, you know what I mean? Try to do everything he or she can just to get your attention. because they are wishing that it was a competition. Then you got that one with that $500 hat with that 50-cent head, always trying to, put one on a notch, on their notch, a person on their notch, so you know exactly who and what is in their bed, okay? So they can get in your head. Yeah, so you got that one right there. And then that last one that's in competition with you guys is that one with all those degrees more than the thermometer, but always calling you, asking you, hey, what you think I should do? And it's not once in a blue that they do, okay? I can't make it up. And the only thing you can tell them is please stay true, all right, to yourself. Yeah. So these people you may see along the way in your life's journey, that are in different dimensional levels of competition with you guys, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, whatever. Okay. Yeah. So there it is. There it is. But however, nevertheless, you guys, life is your soul's mission. It is not a competition. That's why the higher realms place something beautiful inside of you. It's called your intuition, okay? The higher realms want you to really acknowledge it that way, right? It is your inner wealth. Yourself is your inner wealth, okay? That's why you must honor thyself, because that self is thy wealth. All right? The higher realms place that intuition inside of you, because the higher realms say if you trust your intuition, you can begin to see without sight, sweetheart, sir, ma'am, okay? Yeah. That's why you got people still scratching their head right today, trying to figure out how the blind man and woman can maneuver this whole world and still be all right, day or night. Trust your intuition, because you can see without sight. That intuition, the higher realms keeps it spiritually tethered to this beautiful thing called your spiritual GPS, which is the guides, or simply God pointing you to your next level, a step of origin. Okay, the acronym for STEP is STEP, which is a solution to every problem. A lot of you guys were born with that in your spiritual DNA. A solution to every problem. Isn't that something? Yeah. So a lot of you guys didn't even know that you were born like a spiritual 9mm 6-inch barrel filled up with spiritual hollow points, but not knowing quite which way to shoot. Yeah. You guys were born that way. The higher realms want you to acknowledge that right now today. So know your wealth. Yourself is your wealth. However, as sure as you were born with that STEP, the solution to every problem, a lot of people don't know what a problem is. Well, a problem is something that you create. Situations are things that happen. All right? That's why a problem is always attached to a name, Houston, we have a problem. Situations are simply things that you hear like, oh, what happened was, and okay. Yeah. So the higher realms want you to take that and employ that today. As you go throughout your day, you can pause and simply ask yourself and say, hey, self, am I the solution today? Quietly to yourself. And if you hear that voice back saying, hey, it's okay. If you don't hear a voice, guess what? Yeah, you're the problem. And that's all right. Well, the reason it's all right is because the higher realms want you guys to not be unaware that that word enemy is simply the way it's pronounced. It is enemy. I'm going to say it again to you. The word enemy is simply how it's pronounced. It is enemy. The higher realms want you to identify with that part itself. Okay? Yeah. So when you're pointing fingers out towards someone else, remember it's 3 fingers pointing back. That's why the higher realms want you to be aware of the simple fact that the enemy is enemy. No one can ever harm me more than I can harm me. No one has ever harmed me more than I can harm me. Why, you say? Oh, well, simply because everywhere I go, I simply take me with me. It's a me journey. Can't you see? All right. So you guys, the higher realms want you to be heightened with your awareness and clarity, spiritual clarity. Okay? Yeah, in every way. Which brings us to this message, your birthday message today, which is simply the higher realm speaks through numbers, signs, and synchronicities in every other way as well. Okay? However, your number, signs, and synchronicities are like your birthday, your expiration date, and all the little DNA codes in your body. And a lot of times the time on the clock, the month, the days, the years, etc. Numbers, signs, and synchronicity, your height. Okay? Some of you guys, I don't want to freak you out, make you laugh, but some of you guys have a child that's 3'3". The height is 3'3" right now. A lot of you guys are ascended masters as, travel back, to here. You manifested yourself to be here in this time, to be a part of Earth's evolution, okay? The spiritual evolution of Earth. That's what you guys need to know. Why? Well, before I get into, let me make a correction, you guys. That's interesting. Correction. Okay, you guys are that 2-3 in every way. Oh my goodness. Some of you guys have a child 23 going on 23 or something like that. Some of you guys may have a child 2 years old. Some of you guys have a child 3 years old. Yes. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. So a lot of you guys are number 2-3 birthright, okay? 2 being the month of February, okay? And when the higher realms speak to you through your birthright number 2, the higher realms is telling you in each and every way that you are favored. A lot of you guys are highly favored. I can't make it up. The higher realm say, you don't believe me? All you have to do is look in that mirror and see that everything on your body equate the number of 2. You got 2 feet? Yes, you do. You got 2 legs? 1, 2. You got 2 arms? And you got 2 eyes. And they're both the same size. Wow. You are the prize. You guys are birthright number 2. I can't make it up. The higher realms highly favors you. See, that number 2 birthright also says that you guys do a lot of praying. A lot of you guys pray your way out through the day. And for those way in the back, say, I don't pray like that. I don't pray. That's okay. Because I do declare, if you didn't pray, you wouldn't be living to say that anywhere. Okay? Why? Because you are a living prayer. Okay? Those who say they don't pray, just remember you are a living prayer. Janice and Joseph got together, and Mary and Art and Tabitha and Janet and Irvin and Irvin, they got together and they prayed for so-and-so to have a baby boy or girl. You are a living prayer. If you ever help somebody with no strings attached, they pray for that help. So, I do declare, if you say you don't pray, it's okay, because you are a living prayer. So be aware. Now, getting back to the ones that's right there in the front, your number 2 birthright says that you pray, and as sure as it takes 2 hands to form a prayer. February 23rd birthday, guess what? The higher realm said whatever you're praying for will be right there. I can't make it up. Because remember, you're praying in the spiritual realm for something to materialize, right? Yeah, so, yeah, you actually spiritually see it, but you can't physically touch it, but it's there. How about that? Yeah, you can't beat that spiritual fact with a bat, can you? No, indeedy, sweetie. And a lot of you guys need to recognize this number 3 birthright here. See, a lot of you guys are really, you've heard people say stubborn, strong-headed, and stuff like that. And before I get into that, I want to tell you guys this number 2 is in front of the 3. So I have to take 2 away from 3, which equals the number 1. So a lot of you guys have that number 1 birthright in you, which is the alpha energy. A lot of you guys have that number 1 energy, which is the number 1 was never meant to be a number ever in ancient times. Why? Because numbers are meant to be plural. That number 1 represent God, the alpha, the beginning. So a lot of you guys have that God-like energy and the alpha energy from the beginning of birth. A lot of you guys really do have it inside of you. Okay? I want to break it down as true. That God energy, a lot of you guys have been proven to give good orderly directions. When people ask you for directions, they come back and thank you in such a way that you gave some good directions because of that God energy, good orderly directions inside of thee. A lot of you guys just sit around. Sometimes you get this real desperation. However, it's the God energy, which is a gift of desperation that sparks that talented creation that you have inside of you. Some of you guys are writers. You're inspired to write. Some of you guys are, creatives. Creative content people. You actually are creative. But before you create, you have to have that God energy, which is that gift of desperation that sparks that inspiration of creation. I can't make it up. All right? So that's that God energy inside of you guys. And a lot of you guys refuse to sit around and twiddle your thumbs and sit there and be living or breathing in the energy of depressed. Why? Because you have that God energy inside of you that say less. You choose gratitude over depression. It feels way better than being in a depressed mess. A lot of you have that God energy, which is gratitude over depression, synergy inside of you. And a lot of you guys don't know what you do. How they say know not what you do when you keep those windows open, because it satisfies you. A lot of you guys, when you come out, you're going to open the window, no matter whether it's winter, spring, summer, or fall. However the weather is, you're going to have that window open, and that's all. Why? Because of that God energy. And a lot of you guys cannot let grass grow under your feet. You just gotta go because of that God energy. The great outdoors. A lot of you guys love the outdoors. You can't help yourself because of that God energy. Now, the only thing that's tricky about that alpha energy is a lot of times because you are learning and growing each and every day, and you're growing spiritually in a profound way. It may be a little bit harder for you guys to match with a mate, because of that alpha energy that you guys seem to equate. And that's okay if you're a little bit late with the marriage, than your friends and your family and stuff like that. It just shows that you have that alpha energy strong inside of you. And someone had to really match in order for you guys to do what you do as far as marriage. I can't make it up. So there you have it. Now, that's that number 1 energy. So a lot of you guys have that 2 and that 1 as your birthright number as well. But however, that number 3 says a lot about you guys, mind, body, and spiritually. Okay? Because that's that triangle energy, mind, body, and spiritual energy, inspiration, manifestation, and creation. All right? A lot of you guys, there's some people say Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Some people say Mother, Father, Son. It doesn't matter because you guys are that 1, that birthright of number 3. That's why you got to be mindful of what you thinketh in your entirety. Why? Because you are master manifestors. All right? A lot of you guys can really think something, and unbeknownst to your surprise, it can instantaneously materialize. And I always use the example for you guys where, you're talking to a person and you might say, something, what happened to May? Yeah, you remember May? What happened to May? And then all of a sudden May pop up and you're like, whoa, speaking of the devil. It's not speaking of the devil. That's your master manifestory ability. You guys have the manifesting ability of master manifester. That's why you have this birthright of number 3. You guys can manifest yourself to be at 3 places at one time. Did I stutter out of mother or give you some butter? You guys can manifest yourself to be at 3 places at one time. A lot of you guys manifest yourself being at the right place at the right time with the right stuff. And that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, you could write a book about it. A lot of you guys, when you get places, they say, come on in, we just opened up. A lot of you guys just pull up and you see them, just opening the gates and you're right on time. Somebody else tell their story. They said, no, they told me come back. I seen the doors closed. And they said they've been closed for weeks. All right? Because they are not that number 3 birthright energy you guys have and carry, which is that synergy. So a lot of you guys, this 2 plus 3 equals a number 5. So that number 5 is the higher realms telling you guys that you bring positive change from every dimensional level. So shall you bring it, you shall receive it. A lot of you guys grew up with a lot of pocket change around you, or just bottles of change, socks of change, drawers with change in it because of that number 5 birthright. A lot of people did not grow up like that. I can't make it up. That number 5, a lot of you guys came to change the game out here. A lot of places you guys go and be a part of, everything changes. All you have to do is say one thing. I think the interior should be blue. And next thing you know, you come back and the whole place is blue. You didn't change the dynamic. A lot of you guys really are that number 5 powerful multidimensional spiritual energy. You bring positive change to this dimensional level. So a lot of you guys shall receive pocket change, okay, on your beautiful day. Number 5 birthright. Some of you guys are life path 5, and that's unique. Yeah, very unique. So what I'm going to do is get into your read, you guys, now. Okay, so a lot of you guys feel like honesty is missing from a relationship right now, okay? And that hurts in a big way. A lot of you guys feel like this, honesty is missing in what relationship of yours right now. And you just want them to be real because you guys are always survivors. You have a partner that's, not being honest about finances at this time. And that really hurts you guys because you're trying to keep refreshing it and restarting it and trying to allow them a moment to speak. But this is one of them situations where, bills are piling up and they're not being honest about what's being done, like what they're going through at this time. And a lot of you guys got your bags packed spiritually, mentally, or physically, or emotionally, and you ready to, kind of move on from this type of energy because they can't not sustain you. They have to be honest. If there's any loss, you want them to be true about it, okay? This is the energy that I see. That's, you, because you guys are, you recognize you're a survivor no matter what, okay? You experienced losses in your life before, and you had to sacrifice some things, in your life before. You had to sacrifice, joy to be at work. You had to sacrifice your personal time to be at work. You had to sacrifice, giving to a charity or whatever events that you guys had to, in order to be at work, to make certain money because, and you guys feel like, that honesty is lost in this relationship. And you keep sacrificing, and that is, really, you keep sacrificing and trying to restart it, and pretty soon you guys feel like, listen, I'm out the door, is what I see here, because a lot of you guys don't understand, why you are there to help the person, and the person doesn't act like, you're there to help them, okay? It's something about stuck up, or they don't want to, they're going to have to suck it up when you guys decide to leave here, okay? because they're not being responsible for this relationship in any way. And that's causing major challenges for you guys, for real. You know what I mean? That's what I see. Cause really major challenges in its entirety, okay? And for some of you guys, it's caused you guys to feel the H word a little bit about it because, because it's almost like they're not being true to themselves. And that, that alone can be a challenge if you're dealing with somebody who's not only not honest with you, but they're not being honest with themselves. And that's not fair to you. So, and all because of their pride. Oh my goodness. All because of their pride. Well, one day they're going to wake up and you guys are not going to be, taking no wooden nickels. You guys are going to wake up, and that's what happened here. Some of you guys are going to awaken to the fact that, a lot of you guys are going to wake up to the fact that, tired of being patient. A lot of you guys are tired of being patient. When your soul energy is there to help this person, you're there to help. You're there to be of help, okay? All right? You're there to be of help to this person, but then, however, they're not acknowledging it. So a lot of you guys may have to chalk this relationship up, whatever this is what I'm seeing you guys feeling and thinking, and just move on, because the level of this person being responsible for what they're supposed to be responsible for in this relationship is simply the truth and being honest, is drawing you guys towards that H word, and I don't like it. And it's really causing you guys, that H energy, and it's really like causing you guys to, have baggage. So spiritual baggage end up being physical baggage, and you guys are just going to move on. And a lot of you guys are going to chalk it up for what it is and move on. And they're going to be left behind, and that hurts. That part hurts, okay? So I see a major loss here. And I'm feeling like, humility is one thing and pride is another, you know what I mean? So somebody has to, feel that humility here, and I think this person has to feel it, and it's clear. So a lot of you guys have been a very, responsive and responsible person in this person's life. You've been nothing but honest, okay? You've refreshed this relationships many numerous of times. Not just refresh, you refurbished, you reestablished, you reinstated the love, you reestablished. A lot of you guys, even when there was nothing there, okay? Nothing there. Some of you guys reached for straws and sticks in this relationship, okay? Until finally, that spiritual awakening happened here. That's what I see. And that came from you guys just tired of being patient, tired of waiting for something that you are not seeing here. And the point and principle of this is, this was very challenging for you guys, you know what I mean? It was a challenging experience. And you guys have to, at some point you have to be yourself, because you can lose yourself being something else. And that's what I see. Because a lot of you guys are being something else instead of what you are solely meant to be. And that is happy, joyous, and free. A lot of you guys are not not supposed to be playing with toxic puzzles. You know what I mean? The dynamite. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, you already a survivor. You're already, who you are. You've already had experience in constantly sacrificing and asking for help. You guys know that this is a part of life. However, this person does not. So until they're able to get honest with themselves, I'm seeing some of you guys may be with someone who really constantly is drinking, and they don't want to stop. and they don't want to do, right or whatever, because they haven't had their awakening as of yet. When they do, it's going to be a situation where you guys are going to be already out the door. Because you guys have already mentioned this numerous of times in every which way. And I'm going to say this. This person has put themselves in a situation now that they can't get out of. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are tired of being patient. You've been patient. This person has been to spiritual jail, spiritual court, you know what I'm saying, all the above. And they really are in spiritual jail right now, if not physical. So you guys are tired of being patient. This is your chance to walk away, because this has been nothing but a challenge for you guys. It's like you have to be responsible for another adult in such a way where the adult can't even be an adult. So in other words, you guys are wiping spiritual behind. You're not wiping their behinds physically, but you're wiping their behind spiritually. Like, hold up, you did just take a dump, right? Okay, I just want to say that. That's what I'm feeling about all this. It's just like, it's really, really something that you guys really honestly didn't sign up for. Okay? No matter how strong and beautiful and confident you are, you did not sign up for this. You are a soul survivor. You deserve this recharging moment. You deserve, you deserve to reap some benefits of this work that you guys put in, because a lot of you guys sacrificed your time for this person. You did a lot of things. You sucked a lot of things up. You've been ever so loving, caring, and patient. How about that? And I don't know, no one's perfect. If you guys are challenged just to be yourself, just because you have to be responsible for someone who doesn't even like them or his or herself, this is what it is. It's painful. So this is the message that came out. I'm going to see what the solution is. 1 second, guys. Oh, okay. So the higher realms want you guys to stop and take a step back and understand that what you doing in this life is a part of your life's work. Whatever you are doing or not doing in this life is communicating to the higher realms in every realm, okay? That you intuitively know exactly what you're doing today, and it is a part of your life's work, okay? So the higher realms want you guys to take a moment each day, catch your breath, okay? Catch your breath. And the higher realms don't want you to panic, because this is not one of those things, okay? Because fear makes you jump every which way, okay? They want you to always be mindful of what's around you, okay? And always, get centered, all right? You get centered, and then you can start moving forward, because your intuition really would not lead you astray. A lot of you guys, like, remember I tell you, trust yourself. Trust yourself. Yourself is your wealth, okay? Your life is spiritually guided. Remember I tell you the GPS? So a lot of you guys do have that GPS, and it would not lead you guys wrong, okay? It will always lead you back to finding your right way to your north node, okay? Yeah. A lot of you guys are very loving and caring, and you real. So the awareness is you guys trust your intuition and just realize what you're doing is your life work. And it's like a megaphone. It's captivated and it's megamized, okay? And it is broadcasted in the higher realms in such a way. So as you guys are, accumulating leadership at this time, because that's all that is when you guys, when you see things that others don't see, when you doing certain things and stuff like that, that means that you are, awakening, and that means you are awakening to your leadership type of energy. You are ready to take charge of a situation, and that's why you see things that others don't see. So therefore you're collecting. So you have now you have baggage. However, it is baggage of what you are inspired of, okay? Some of you guys, it may be, some baggage of low vibe, okay, that you guys are leaving behind, okay? Because some of you guys feel ashamed that you feel like it took a long time for you to realize a situation that wasn't fully true to you, okay? I'm trying to say this in a way where you just stay calm, because I don't want you guys to ever panic. This is not a fear-mongering type of thing. I'll tell you guys about that low-dimensional fear that really operates in people's lives on a regular basis, which you guys are resisting by doing certain thing here, by recognize that this is your life work, and it is being broadcasted throughout the heavens, okay, in a big way. So what decision are you making today is the big deal. And I don't know, that's what I'm getting, okay? And what I see you guys doing is you accumulated a certain amount of thing that they wanted you to accumulate, which is low vibe energy, shame, and guilt. Okay, right, that's in the past. Okay, that's why I say this too shall pass. It always will, and it always has. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah. So you guys. So it's time for you guys to get out of that word fear, because a lot of you guys have picked it up, and only because you have your awareness now, and it's showing you the direction that you are pointing to that you are going in, okay, which is leadership, and it takes practice, okay? Nothing comes overnight in any way. So let's talk about these energies that you guys have picked up, and you are now a bag lady or man. Shame, guilt, okay? Shame and guilt are the two things that's holding you guys down, okay? And keeping others around, okay? It can keep low vibe energies around, because if you operate here, the walk of shame, you know what I'm saying, the guilt, things of that nature, yeah. So which is already over, it's already done, so it's considered as the past now, right? So the bottom line is, it's 3-dimensional levels of fear, okay? And the fear is a low vibe energy. Just remember that. It can only operate in 3-dimensional levels. How about that? That's right. It can't reach the 4th dimension, and if it can't go above the 3, that's it, okay? The 1st dimensional level is FEAR, okay? False evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. So now it's like it's a boogeyman somewhere, and when it gonna pop out? And for some, it starts early. It starts attacking them early as they're a baby child, or mommy is somebody in the closet under the bed. FEAR, okay? False evidence appearing real. Nothing there, sweetheart, okay? And then the second level that low vibe energy fear tries to really keep you guys bounded and trapped in is FEAR, future events already ruined, okay? So now you're trying to call in to work, and I don't want to go in today. I might run into so I might do this. I'm not going to the family reunion. You won't get the things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is future events already ruined. Now these may be some good events too as well that are already ruined because of that low vibe fear. Now the last dimensional level is that 3rd dimensional level, and it really wants to get you here. FEAR. F everything and run. So you find yourself running from yourself, because yourself is your wealth. That's what people doing when they don't realize they're doing it, when they drink or when they smoke or when they're trying to escape or trying to have another actually feeling than other that's in your brain, that the actual feeling is. It's you running from yourself. That's it. And they don't see it as that. They see it, they try to, and you know how they say, no, not what they do. Okay, but that's what it is. That's that last dimensional level. Running from yourself. Oh, let's drink it away. Oh, let's sex it away. Oh, let's, okay? So that the higher realms are saying, nope, You have to heal. This is a time for healing for you guys. You are really right on time for your healing because you are a natural born leader. You need to take charge of this situation because it's bringing you justice, and you guys are highly supported by your angels. I do see that. A lot of you guys are, really helping your family. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys are family orientated. You really inspire your family and your friends, okay? A lot of you guys are polishing your skills, you know what I'm saying, in music or something like that, in dance and different cultures. A lot of you guys, this is going to give you time to recognize who you are, okay, in a big way, because a lot of you guys, it's your time to shine and be all the Creator has created you guys to be. And it's saying, and seize your day. That's what yours say. Your whole thing said, as far as the solution is you guys going in the right direction, letting go of that baggage and healing, working on healing, okay? In a big way, because it's your time. And simply acknowledging what is your life work. Have you been that leader? Have you been really practicing? All right, leadership roles. Are you supported? Yes, you are. Shall you get justice? A lot of you guys are getting justice, okay? In a big way. A lot of you guys are protected by your angels, and you shall get justice. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask for help, get a lawyer, do other things you guys need to do, because this is all a part of your healing process. The higher realms put everything right there for you guys, the right attorney, the right judge, the right, jury, what have you, type of thing. The higher realms put the right accountant there for you. A lot of you guys are that number 3, so you understand what you do. You are at the right here. You manifest yourself to be at the right place at the right time with the right stuff. And that's real rough for anybody to do in this lifetime. Some of you guys, your life purpose is to love on yourself, your family, and your friends, the ones that's there for you guys, because I see nothing in your future but infinite abundance. Okay, some of you guys are going to come out on top in a big way from this. Some of you guys, this is a lawsuit that you guys have to take leadership in for others of you, okay? And again, you are definitely supported by your spirit guides and your angels, okay? And guess what? They're telling me that, this infinite abundance is your life purpose. That's why you had to go through this practice in order to be a leader, So you guys are right on time, perfect timing. I asked the last question before I go. Is there anything else that you guys should know? And you have to trust this, you guys. You have to trust your feelings, your dreams, your process. You have to trust your intuition, because it would not lead you astray. This is where we must part ways. If life lasts and death pass, you will see or hear me again. Until then, Paulay, peace be unto you and within one. And you guys, be mindful of what you do with your time as well, because time is, the acronym for time is things I must earn, okay? Things I must experience, okay? Father, time is speaking in that way. So be mindful of what you do in your time of healing, because it is your time. You have earned this. Things I must earn. It is your time.